It's that time of year again. Winter has come to Waterdeep, and it is the holiday season. And here, in our lovely tent, gathered are 4 competitors, hoping to be crowned Acadia's... No, it's in Waterdeep. Is it in Waterdeep? Should it be in Waterdeep?
You're
okay.
the fucking DM.
A festival that originates in Waterdeep for the first.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Let me start over again.
My whole thing is based off this being in Waterdeep, dude.
Yeah, you sent us the links.
Okay.
That's what I did.
My whole life.
Let me start
I
over.
wrote down their gods. That's
Once again, winter has come to Waterdeep, and we are gathered here in our lovely tent with 4 beautiful competitors who want to be crowned Waterdeep's greatest holiday baking champion.
Hi, my name is Amanda, and I play Veric Bondarion, the hobgoblin alchemist trying to make his way in the world. Comes from a very large family, loves his family, really, really, really hoping to make it in this baking competition and show that he can make it as a professional baker in Waterdeep.
Nice.
I'm Jacob Heidenreich. I'm playing Bec-de-Corbin, a warforged fighter who somehow ended up in Faerun from Eberron and is now just a glorified oven.
We're still arguing on what part is the oven.
Yeah.
Well, I'm arguing.
You'll
He's
see.
decided.
You'll see.
My name's Melissa. I am playing Brooke because that's the only name that she really needs. It's the only name that she's going to respond to. She is a human bard, basically a sorority girl. Nobility doesn't work ever. She's never cooked a day in her life. It's going to be a lot of fun. And basically, I'm just here because Daddy cut me off again after I failed the last exam.
She doesn't even go here.
She doesn't even go here. And I just really need the prize money because I can't live without anything. Are you kidding me? And plus, if I win, then I'm gonna be real famous, and it's gonna be way easier to get a husband.
Don't tell her.
I was gonna say, who's gonna tell her?
oh no.
There's no prize. There's no prize money. Don't tell her.
Placard for you.
Look, maybe she can steal. It's fine.
Yeah, no, please don't tell her. Don't tell her. She's gonna be real upset.
What would it be besides roses or flowers?
Yeah.
I love that she
Here's a
assumes she's gonna
spoon.
win. Still,
Yeah.
she's like, I'm clearly
When
gonna
I win.
No, why wouldn't I win? I don't understand. It's
All
not
right.
that hard.
It's not that hard. So yeah, I'm Jessica. I'm playing Davor. He's 800 plus years old. Is that what we're sticking with?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But my tag for myself is, although his relatives are all dead and gone, he has been honoring their memory by baking all the things that his grandma orc did with him.
Traditional orc pastries.
But yeah, trying to take care of the people of Waterdeep and help out on their holiday season. You just put on that apron and baking, helping out the little kids, whatnot.
Right. You can expect some dwarf meat pies from the orc pastries.
Yeah.
All right, so we will then cut to the interior of the tent, where you can see set up inside a beautiful countryside outside of Waterdeep. Big white tent, station set up, tables, bowls. There's no KitchenAid stand mixers, obviously, unless.
Whoa!
Do we have servants?
Whoa! I am out.
Do we have servants that do that? Could we hire someone that's just?
Mm-mm.
That
So
sounds like
whipping
an unpaid servant job to me.
meringue is going to be a strength check.
Oh,
But I don't do manual labor. I don't understand. I
You
expected
realize that the
people for this.
Warforged is going to overwhip his meringue all day. All day.
break every sauce that you make. Good.
And then at the front of the tent, we see two humanoids standing. One of them is a Goliath man, but instead of the typical gray skin, he's got kind of a very brick red skin. close cropped, salt and pepper hair. He is one of the judges,
Stunning
Holiday.
blue eyes.
Mr. Yes, bright blue eyes. His sleeves rolled
Eerily
up.
bright.
Crystalline and-
Yeah.
The other one
Looks
is
like a white. It's fine. Those are true things. He looks like a chunky white. It's fair. Oh god.
Standing next to him is a dwarven lady. She's wearing very nice clothes, pearl necklace. Her name
gonna be a lot
is
of
Mariana. She's going to be the other judge.
I like it so much better.
Yeah, it's more Mary Berry than
Yes.
Than Prue.
Yeah, than Prue. Sorry, Prue. And then from the side of the tent into your view come your two hosts. One of which is an elven man with dark hair. He's wearing very close cropped clothes, except for a big holiday themed sweater. It's brightly colored. It depicts like a pastry on the front with like hearts coming out of it. But he's wearing like black leggings. Another woman comes in with him, also a dwarven lady.
I think she really is a dwarf.
Yeah, she may actually be a
fair.
dwarf.
Nordic dwarf.
Yeah, definitely stocky, wearing, what would you describe her clothing?
She's always in a
as?
button down.
Yeah, like a button down.
A vest.
Yeah, and a vest.
Be a vest.
Sweater vest.
A
She looks-
leatherette, maybe.
She looks so comfortable.
Does look comfortable.
Like she's horseback ridden
Loafers,
recently.
dwarven loafers,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. So, first up,
almost talked
bakers,
school again.
we have your signature bake, which you've been practicing at home. This one, our
All
first
weekend.
bake of the competition. We want a midwinter loaf. We want a very nice bread of some kind, whether it's plaited or or shaped or just in a very fine boule. Anything is acceptable as long as it represents one of the many traditional holidays celebrated during midwinter. You all have 4 hours. Ready, set, bake!
Yes. Okay, so how does this work?
So you guys are basically gonna tell me what you're doing, and I'll come around and talk to you.
But are you going to do it like the show where you walk up to, you tell us which one is talking? Like,
Yeah.
Walk
And
up to
then
Davor's
we'll
station.
make checks to
Okay.
see how this goes, depending on what you're actually doing when I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Can I like roll a perception check first? Because I've got no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic. I need to
You're
know
just
what
like-
everybody else is
Where
doing.
am I?
Perception is just looking around the tent, so
Yes.
you're just trying to see what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, I need to know
What
what.
about the competition?
Yeah, because I'm very confused right now about how you make bread.
Ooh.
I don't eat carbs.
Not
so-
to interrupt Melissa, but I'm going to interrupt Melissa. It may help for us to physically describe ourselves. We did not do that.
Brooke, what's your perception check?
It is a 20.
A 20.
20.
So you see around you your fellow bakers.
Yes. What are they doing?
Yeah. So if you guys could describe yourselves to Brooke.
Yes, please.
Veric is a red-skinned, green-eyed male hobgoblin,
Okay.
approximately average human size.
Mm.
Yes. Thinking like 40s.
Yeah, like not
Approximately.
marriageable.
Age,
Okay.
Ages around the same. I mean, always have an open heart.
My heart is ice.
Yeah.
I mean, I plan to be like the master of all bakeries in Waterdeep. I
Okay.
have plans. I have ideas.
So you know what you're doing.
I mean,
Okay.
But you do have to
There
market
are
a
thoughts.
goblin.
I'm going to
Body.
leave that for the judges.
Okay, what are you currently
Yeah,
doing?
what do
What
you
am I currently doing?
Yeah, what's your
sorry?
first steps?
All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is make my dough. What I am making is a raspberry and cream cheese stuffed loaf in the shape of a 9-tailed whip.
Mm.
That's what you're going to see right now. So
Okay.
like I'm making my dough, and that's what you're going to be seeing from me right
Okay.
after that.
Cool.
All right, and then
Filling
Davor. What's Davor look
Oh
like?
Lord. Okay, so I always like to. 'Cause this has been my buddy for a while. I like to liken him to like if Terry Crews were an orc, like that kind of build where he's so muscular in the shoulders, but watching him on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he has suspenders on, but it looks almost absurd because he's so built under his shirt. And he's normally wearing a button down. it sounds like a Terry Crews podcast now. It's a big deal.
I don't think anybody's going to complain.
Oh, yeah. It just sounds like I'm a total creep. It's fine. But no, I always picture him like button down, but whatever the equivalency, because I'm going to make button downs now.
That's fine.
Impresario button down.
We've already established they exist.
Oh, yeah, totally fine.
And sweaters.
Yeah, and sweaters. It's totally fine. And a vest, but I like the brocade vest deal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that it's a green, it's a nice green, but he also, the other intersection of what I realized this character was built on is Virgil in the glowing sea in Fallout, when you get to that cave and you're like
a super mutant.
Yeah, that orc is a super mutant, but he's wearing an ascot that's like a silk piece and he looks fantastic.
Little glasses.
So he is a greenish orc, but like a green gray, because that'd be terrible for visual right now to contrast with the thing. But like pants, boots, vest, tiny glasses, looks a little perturbed all the time, like a Britishy, Giles-ish, just annoyed at the world situation. So what he has done for his signature bake is he has based it on the fact that this is the midpoint of the winter calendar of the Harptoast people, the Harptoast calendar thing. So nobles think that it's a time for new alliances.
That's because it is.
There are. So it's a whole piece for this signature bake. And it has to, did you specify whether it had to be a loaf like a bread? It has to be a bready loaf.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. So I'm going to make like a focaccia, like a flat kind of piece. So that it's a wide base for that. But for the new alliances, it'll be like a half and half cake kind of thing. And the noble piece has like a castle kind of building, like a smallish thing, but a topper built to represent the nobles. And then the dead winter day is what the peasants call it, because they don't understand that it's cold times, that cold is coming. So it will look like a grayish wastelandy ruin on the other, like a tree without leaves and things. But there also is a time for the Red Knights, the clergy, to discuss the year. So there will be a Red Knight made, a little figure of that. It's probably going to crumble.
Very ambitious.
Yeah. So I'm going to be that guy who's just like stressing and crying as he makes it. But yeah, so a clergyman. So it kind of looks like a chess piece person over there. And then because the Osiris part is part of this holiday, there's a crypt, and the Talos part is the lightning. So there's a little lightning bolt on part of it. But it looks like a sheet bread kind of thing with all these figures on top.
Wow.
But halved to represent the noble peasant class issue.
Dichotomy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I really hope you can't pull all of this off.
No, I'm not going to be able to, because they all have to.
Like the card that comes up that shows like a sketch of what they're.
Yeah, it's going to look bad.
Yeah. It's like a sketch, and it's like
to me,
Renaissance painting.
Yeah, it would look like that, or kind of like the game Medieval, just like a really crappy, terrible version of it. It'd look awful. But yeah, that's going to be my goal. And different types of bread so that they have different colors, like a rye, and like some have chia in them, and pumpernickel for dark breads.
Like you're making
and stuff.
Multiple.
Yeah, I want to do different proofs and stuff, and just ruin my life and make sure that it's. I'm gonna cry.
You really need to start working now.
I'm doing it while I'm doing as they come up to my bench. I'm just like, I don't know, but I feel like when he does it so hard, his knuckles hit the bench, and he's just mad about it. Like, I don't know how. And he's just trying so hard to paw it like a kid, because he's just destroying it.
Well, if you rage, you have advantage on strength athletics.
Yeah. Oh, I have some things. Yeah.
So what was it? Build a Beck? Or
Bec-de-Corbin.
Bec-de-Corbin. BDC. It's some BDC. What are you doing?
Okay.
BDC.
Melissa, how do you pronounce that?
How do I?
Is it brioche?
Yes, it's brioche.
Okay.
Oh, you're ambitious. Fantastic.
Okay.
I mean,
I've
I'm named after a
Savage.
French weapon. I gotta go with it. So
please make
I'm going to
French
make a brioche.
Okay.
Just a plain brioche shaped in Tyr's Warhammer. Yeah.
Cool.
To celebrate the first day of Hammer. So, when you see me, I'm already at the station before you guys get to yours, and I'm just in an off state.
No, I think for our dear listeners, you have to explain how this works, because I had no clue.
Describe your appearance.
So
you look insane.
A Warforged is a war machine built in Eberron. So my character, for example, has garnets for eyes, composite plate covers his whole body, and his core is made out of a dark wood.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, where you can see his body is just really dark wooden roots.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just from the last major war. He's about 10 years old. Probably fought about 5 years in the war. And the war was over. Got sold to a wizard for protection. The wizard died in his own realm. He got stuck in Faerun. And he just has no point to living right now because he's a war machine.
It's like, I bake. I have an oven.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So does someone have to come turn you on, or can you turn yourself?
I just snap on.
Okay, you
Just-
turn yourself
what?
back
Yeah.
on. Okay.
Let's get at that.
I mean, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
So, whenever it gets to their baking stations, I just turn on and start running a diagnostics check, and just start powering up and just start methodically putting everything in order: all my eggs, butter, flour, everything to get ready to bake. And I'm just like in it
Okay.
because this is what I do now.
I hope that you print out a sheet like a printer when you start with just like your stats. Just
I make
boop.
fax machine noises.
That's going to be
These
some good
youngins aren't even
audio.
going to know what a fax machine is.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Oh,
What is
boy.
a fact?
So then, Brooke, having seen all this, does this give you some ideas to what
No,
to do?
none. I
Okay.
am so lost.
Every
I
beat
am
he
now-
makes, Davor's like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
So after taking in all that, I would
Mhm.
like to like scope out where all the people who work for the show are. Are there people? Please tell me there's people.
There's there's crew.
Yeah,
Like,
I need to know where they are.
They're kind of just like mining everything. They're, there's some people outside helping with the little festivals going on with the families, and
They're gonna be important.
yeah. Okay. And at this point, the hosts are walking around, and they're gonna like come bug you while you're cooking. The man in the jumper, Foal Neilding, Foal comes up to Davor and sees him just like obliterating this dough, and is like, "Oh, hey there, buddy, you good? What you got going on over here?"
I feel like I'm so into what I'm doing. I just turn, but give him a weird look for looking just strange.
Mm-hmm.
Although I admit I'm an orc
Yeah.
that is clearly dressed up for business
Business orc.
purposes. Yeah, I'm a business orc. It's fine. So he's asked me what am I doing?
It's like, what? I see you have multiple doughs over here. What are you doing with all of these different?
I think my favorite thing is when he has been upset and he just growls. Like he's just frustrated. It's like 10 minutes in, but he knows he is screwed up. There's no way this is gonna happen.
You're just like kneading a dough with each hand. And you're
Yeah,
just
like when Paul Hollywood does it, or what are we calling him? What is our Paul
Holiday.
Paul Holiday? Yeah, watching people double knead with both hands and things, and just his sad effort. But he's growling a little. I'm busy. I am so busy. I can't talk. It's a pumpernickel. It's a pumpernickel. That's it.
Let's get a strength athletics check from you. If you're raging, you will have advantage.
Oh yeah, but can I do? Because I have some nutty stats on this. Oh bless! I am looking at a Pathfinder sheet,
Oh,
a
no.
5th edition sheet.
That's a problem.
Yeah, these are all things I don't. We played this one too long. This. Yeah, that only amounts to 15 at best.
Like a 15 on the die or total.
15 total.
Okay.
15 total. I can't give you dirty looks and have that translate via radio.
No, I mean it seems.
I'm going to call it radio because I'm
It
old.
seems to be going well. You're needing it with all of.
I
your
meant
might.
you, the person.
No, I'm talking about the show. I don't care what
Okay.
you're
I
dicking
know,
on me
I
about.
know, whatever. Every day.
And then Brooke,
Yes.
Mr. Holiday walks up to you.
Fantastic.
And
I
says-
am going to look really busy, but I have no idea what any of these ingredients are.
Okay, you're just like randomly putting things together.
Yeah, so I'm just basically, there's like bowls of a bunch of white powdery crap and some stuff that is grayish, and I don't know what to do with it. And then there's like cranberries and oranges and other seasonal fruit, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some
Whose
nuts
season
are on
is
the,
it?
and I'm just like looking at it and just picking up handfuls of things and like throwing it in
Yeah.
a bowl, but like very like, I don't want to touch this.
Yeah, he'll walk up and he does that thing where like he puts his knuckles on it, like standing there, like, and he's like, "What? You got a lot of stuff here. What do you got going on?"
Well, it's gonna be like a surprise for a lot of people.
Well, yeah, you didn't submit a recipe or what you attempted to do.
I was like really busy with finals and I just completely forgot. But it's gonna be like there's gonna be like some fruit and some nuts in there, and it's clearly going to be a bread.
Make a deception check for me.
A deception check.
Yeah, this is gonna be your first.
What's your bread? A bread.
Yeah, a bread.
Clearly.
Have some of that bread.
Is it an alphabet? That one's an alphabetical order.
Charisma. Fan-flippin-tastic. Oh, yay.
What was that?
That's a 1 on the
Oh.
Oh
Plus-
my.
dice. Plus 5.
Okay, that's a 6.
What?
Yeah, so he's gonna do that thing where he just stares at you,
Yeah.
and then he walks off.
That's one of my favorite looks when
Yeah.
he thinks you're an idiot. And
Yeah.
you're just,
That look.
Okay.
that
Just
he
the
gives you.
squint.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just walks off.
It's going to be great.
BDC.
Yes.
What you got going on?
I've started forming my dough for my bread.
Okay.
So I guess I'm just gonna do do I need to do a strength check?
Yeah. Well, if you're just like needing dough, we'll go with another strength athletics check.
I mean,
Marianne will walk up to you, just kind of observing you.
hello, Marianne. I'm looking at her and doing it.
Yeah. She's not even looking at the dough.
Yeah. Is that an athletics check?
Yes.
That is a 18 altogether.
18. Oh boy. She'll say, "That's a wonderful form. Great technique. Have you done this much?"
No.
No? Oh. You're a natural. I can't wait to see what you come up with.
I am a machine. I do not have the weaknesses that humans have.
Oh, that must be very handy.
You are squishy.
She's just uncomfortable and she walks away.
Have a great day.
Yes, you too.
And I frown at her.
Wonderful. All right, Veric.
Yes.
Yes. Foal's also going to walk up to you.
I am super, super excited.
What are you currently doing? Just-
Right now, I am developing my gluten. Is
Okay.
the technical term
Yes.
for what y'all are talking about right now. I'm developing my gluten for my loaf, and I just really want to take.
I
this
work
time
out my
to
gluten
talk
all the
about
time. It's
how-
fine.
My gluten is very developed.
Yeah. You go to the gym for this shit.
Some might
The
say
best gluten's in here.
overdeveloped.
Very developed, maybe.
I just really want to make sure that he understands how misunderstood Leviatar is. We're currently, she's perceived as evil, a lot like goblins are, and she's just misunderstood, and she just wants everybody to celebrate and experience life in the way that she understands it, and that may be through self-flagellation, and that's okay. So my bread, after I'm developing the glutens, will be in the shape of a 9-tailed whip, as I previously mentioned. It will be barbed with pieces of almond.
Oh.
Yes. And then the raspberry filling will be the blood.
Oh.
I really thought that this would really get to the message of it. But, everyone thinks like she's a cold-hearted bully, but she's really a leader.
Okay.
They think she's calculating, but she's actually very intelligent and motivated.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's get a strength athletics check from you then, too, since you're developing your gluten.
I am developing so much gluten. 17 on the die.
Oh.
Plus 0. So
Okay,
yes.
17.
Yep, just 17. Just playing with
Yeah,
it.
Foal will say, "Oh, it's kind of golf. It's interesting. I like it." Yeah, he's like, swooping his
I feel like
hair
you'd
out
be
of
really
his
into
face.
it.
Yeah, he's a little too into it.
He's taking it away from the spirit in which I meant it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, "Oh, you have an experience with those whips. You know what you're doing."
It's more of a a metaphor for the goblin community.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because we strive to be accepted in the way that unpopular people are. Yeah, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, misunderstood, bit of an underdog. Yeah. Right. Okay, so after you guys have developed your gluten, you have to rest the dough, right? Proof it. What do you do while it's?
I'm making my raspberry.
Okay, so you've got another step here.
Yeah. Could I try to co-op? Okay, are we in the setup where it's just the 4 benches?
Yeah, it's
and there
just
aren't
the
any.
4
Okay.
of you. Yeah.
So now I'm turning around, very stressed. Just one way, the other kind of thing, spinning. We're in place because I'm looking for other proofing drawers. I'm not going to have enough of them. So I filled the one I have, but they're all at offset times. So I'm trying to sort out where I'm going to proof everything. And I've got the stuff. My bench is covered in bowls that have like napkins over them. So some can proof outside of it, but some need to be a little hotter. And I'm just very stressed.
I'll take an investigation check.
Okay.
If you're looking for a good place.
Oh, it's about to get weird, I suppose. Oh, God. 18. Yes, okay. 19. So 19 altogether.
You look around, you notice that Bec-de-Corbin over here is only using part of it.
Oh, because he has a brioche.
It's just got the one thing. If you want to
I got to get his
maybe
space.
ask him if you could use, if he could be a buddy.
Okay.
Show some empathy.
Okay. So I don't know if I would have asked so much. I don't want to intimidate him either. That's not gonna work. Okay, I gotta back into this part. I'm gonna do exactly what I'm doing, where I walk up with a bowl into his space. Or no, okay, back up. Like a bowl in one hand, a bowl and another bowl in the pit of my elbow, like a waiter. And I've shown up and I walk into his space. I'm like, hey.
Hello.
So I'm like, it's so off-putting. So then I look around behind me like, oh, there are other options, aren't there? And then realize there are no other options. So you've got a brioche. You love making brioche, right?
Yes. I smile.
So since you've got that, you should.
You say that out loud.
He doesn't actually smile. He just says, I smile.
But no. So he makes his arms a bit wider, trying to emphasize, like, well, you should then, because you're doing one, have space in that proofing drawer under the stove. Do you think I could put these breads in there?
But this is a competition.
It is. It really is. But
Do
spirit,
you wish to win said competition?
I do.
Me too.
So as big as he is, he just sighs and hangs his head and just takes his bowls and walks off to his bench and just sets them all down like, I don't.
Okay.
But yeah, the other thing, I feel like he throws up his arms because he's got to do the window pane test with some sourdoughs and stuff and like look in them. Okay. And then because he's done it wrong, they're all going to fail. So he's just ripping dough in the sky at this point.
Before we get that far, Veric, you said you're making a raspberry.
Yes.
Yeah. Blood sauce.
Yes.
Okay. So what does that entail?
All right. So basically I'm just taking the fresh fruit and, boiling
just reducing
it down with
it.
some sugar. And
yeah. Okay.
I'm also going to be doing some sugar work to make shards of glass.
Okay.
Red glass that the celebrants typically dance on.
Oh.
That will be scattered around my bread.
So then BDC, while your loaf is proofing, are you doing anything else? You're just waiting.
I'm just waiting.
You're just standing there, like just staring.
Yeah, I'm just looking into the darkness. Like I have no soul.
But is it though that you turn to the plastic sheeting, like the holes in the tent sides, where you just look out?
I'm just looking out
at the field.
Yeah. I'm just looking out at the field, just motionless.
Not like the field where the festival is, and there's
just the empty field.
Just, into the distance.
Yeah. And like my hands are kind of shaking a little bit, and I'm just hanging out.
Like if the camera
Completely still body and then shaking it.
Yeah.
So, just for a little bit of backstory, my character also doesn't understand emotions and suffers from PTSD.
Yeah. So like
Because of his being a boy soldier, like his being stuck.
if the camera could zoom into like his face, like it gets closer, and then you could like hear screaming and like the sounds of battle.
Just like flesh being tore open with knives.
Yeah. Just
Brooke, what are you doing?
So she, I guess, saw everybody else like doing crap with the dough and then put it in a drawer. And so she just put it in a random drawer. I don't think it was probably the proofing drawer. It's just a random one next to the oven.
throw those forks on the floor. It's fine.
Yeah, and she decided that she wants to cover the top of her bread in flowers because one of the festivals is like they throw flowers on swords and crap.
Okay.
So she's staring at this like sugar paste. It's different colors. Like, how does this become flowers? I don't. And she's just very confused by life.
Bards have a jack of all trades feature.
Oh, they do, yes.
So basically, you could make an intelligence baking kind of check, like or like a history check, or something to try to figure out if you know how to do it.
Okay. Could it be a performance? No.
Thank you.
I mean, it is a performance at this point.
I'm going to say yes.
Yes. Okay. 14?
14. You actually
Close enough.
You kind of guess at it. You figure like if you worked it, you know, you get on a little knife. You think you could maybe cut up little flower shapes. You don't know how it's going to taste, but
does that really matter?
Yeah.
In a baking competition, like it's really all about how it looks.
Yeah. So then
I'm going to make a lot of flowers.
I'll say for you other guys' checks, Davor, you're going to be doing another, like an investigation check on this dough. Since you're talking about the window pane test and everything, you're like getting in there, examining it.
Okay. Ooh, shouldn't have done that. 10 altogether.
10. Okay. Yeah, you were very frustrated. It's not going the way you wanted.
I feel like a lot of little balls of dough are being thrown on the bench.
Yeah.
Activating all that gluten, that rage gluten.
All right. And Veric, let's get, what do you think for making syrup? To make sure it doesn't burn or like.
I think it should be some kind of survival check because you think about like making a fire, making sure it doesn't burn, maybe.
Insight.
Making a food. Insight on
Insight. Yeah, because it's like a caramel. If there's like a tipping point.
Acrobatics.
I think either
Dexterity, don't get burnt.
perception or investigation. I think either one of those.
+5, so 18.
Oh boy, Eric's doing very well. And then
I'm gonna win this thing for my family. Got to.
So basically, I'd say Bec-de-Corbin, you're just trying not to flip out and kill somebody
Right
now. Yes. Right now, I'm just in my head.
Okay, well, let's get a wisdom saving throw.
Am I next to him? Is it like where we're sitting?
Yeah, basically.
I feel like
Great.
I feel like Davor is behind him, like directly behind him.
Very
12.
stressed about
12. You managed to not, like you're getting really shaky. Your hands are like twitching. You're like almost like looking for a sword or something.
it. You haven't fought anyone.
Yeah,
in
you
20
guys see
minutes.
him like grabbing like at his waist.
You fought someone in the crew outside the tent 20 minutes ago on a goof.
All right.
Killed somebody else.
He's dead.
All right, dough is proved. Sauce is made.
Yes.
Flowers are cut. No one's dead.
We did it.
So then what?
How many hours in are we?
Yeah. How much time has elapsed? They are not shouting out the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had a joke made about anything.
How long does it take to prove?
It's
The first
halfway
proof?
through.
Maybe
Like an hour and a half?
2 hours. We'll say.
2 hours left.
Do you have We're halfway there. You have 2 hours remaining.
Chucks a bag of dirt.
Yeah, he just like does something absolutely nonsensical.
Cool bean.
Yeah, he's got a giant fake lobster claw that he just like, and that's it.
Well, I would definitely be working on my sugar work now.
Okay.
To try to make my shards of glass.
Do I have to make sovereign glue?
No,
I just have it.
I
can just have it. Okay.
Yeah. So once of those are proved, are you doing a second proof? Or
So
are you doing
several
it?
of these would need a second.
Yes,
Okay.
I'll be doing a second proof after I have to form up my handle and braid
Mm-hmm.
my 9 tails and then do a second proof.
Okay, so I'll take
Filling.
a sleight of hand check for that.
I feel like several of mine have fruit in them, so do I need a thing?
She ain't gonna be pretty.
Don't even know what a braid is.
Just a sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 9.
9. Oh boy.
I had a vision.
You're kind of struggling with it. And Marianne walks up and says, "Oh, is this the first time you've ever done this?"
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No. Well,
I do this all the time at home. I don't know what
I
happened.
did it 8 times this weekend.
Don't worry, love. As long as it tastes good. Flavors.
The flavor will be there.
So then, Davor, after the initial proof is done, what are you doing? You then have to shape things, I guess?
Yeah, I'd have to shape them, but I feel like several of these would be fruit based, like have some kind of like apricots in them. Because half of it should look like a gray sadness. I was really trying to think on what that would be. I feel like my technique would be to burn certain things and do like an ash technique on it, kind of, because they've had certain breads that have looked like that, where it's had the baking crust is a little dark on that. So I'm trying
You
to.
need a crackling.
Yeah, I need a crackling bread on that.
So then before that, you're going to shape it into these weird.
Yeah. I feel like there would be a massive amount of failures on trying these figures because I would need a knight, a clergy person.
Well, we'll get a sleight of hand
peasants.
check for that.
Yeah, I should have even talked to you. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, I think that's how that would go down. A 12 and plus 3, a 15.
Marianne will come up. Let's say, "Oh, these are wonderful little figures you've shaped here. What are you planning to do with these?"
So you can tell he's very, very stressed because he's doing the thing where he has the like tea towel around his knuckle and he's just got it against his side, just looking off, and he's just frustrated. Well, I felt like to make the church for the church people, and he's rubbing his face. It needs to be a tart now, and I want to make a tart, but then I'd have to blind bake it, and I feel like if that doesn't go well,
it's not a tart. It's not a tart challenge. It's a loaf.
But it'll be on top, and I think it would look good, and I think it would look better than what I've made, and I think I need to scrap some of these. Some of the doughs need to go.
Say, well, you do what you need to do to make it work.
Yeah, so he'll just take off his glasses and just hold his hand next to his head, just ready. And yet he still put a mini tartlet in to blind bake the crust in the oven. It's already going. It's a done thing. He's just telling her what he did after the fact, far after.
So then, Bec-de-Corbin you've got the proofed brioche.
Yep.
So then you just have to shape it into that hammer, basically, right?
I'm shaping it into the hammer, and I'm greasing my pan.
Okay.
And I'm just getting it ready to put it in the oven.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get a sleight of hand. Not sleight of hand. Yeah. Is that what I said?
Yeah, that's what you said, yeah.
I'm such a good DM. Let's get a sleight of hand check from BDC.
10.
10. Okay. It looks like hammerish. And then Brooke. Now Brooke is this thing is kind of not proved. It's like
half proofed because it was like towards the warm side of the oven.
Yeah, so
proofed.
like half of the dough has risen.
And then half of it's not, which is fine because it needs a second proof. I've noticed that everybody else is doing that.
Okay.
And so clearly I need to do that too.
Okay.
So she's just going to dump it haphazardly out on the board and just poke at it with her fingers.
Okay.
And then take handfuls of the cranberries and handfuls of orange zest and just throw it on top. And then she's gonna take a knife and put it in the center and just roll it up. and then
It's a lollipop now.
Yeah.
It's fine.
just like roll it up
Mm-hmm.
and put it on like a board.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just kind of like is holding it, looking around,
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know where to put this now.
Okay.
And she just puts it back in a drawer.
Okay. Oh man, I don't even know what to make you roll for that.
Just leaves it.
Do you actually like do anything with those oranges, or are you like throwing like whole oranges?
No, like orange zest. Like there's
okay,
just
you're
some like
zesting orange.
I didn't say that I zested it. I said that there was zest.
I hope that his quarters. I hope that his quarters and they're covered in pith. I hope that it's all white and it's like you could barely tell it's orange because she didn't understand.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
That shit would be
The
bitter.
rind was going to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just.
I don't. I could roll for it. Like I have no idea.
Oh man, I don't even know. What kind of? Because you did everything wrong. What do you even like?
Yeah, there's nothing to succeed. Oh wait, no, you should roll to see if it actually works out. Like if you actually.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, like if by some miracle she distributes everything.
Maybe I did everything right.
So it's like a luck thing.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
I need a lot of luck right now.
I feel like
Maybe
it's.
she patted the dough in such a way that it distributed the unproved dough with the proved dough.
It was
and
very
it'll be
gentle.
even.
Very
I
gentle.
feel like it's like
good.
And
every time that it's too big of a whatever it is, and it's just the bottom is just fruit.
Just make it a charisma check.
Yeah.
If you could like,
convince somebody this is good.
or convince the dough that it's okay.
I'm
That's
going
what
to
I'm
try to
imagining.
convince the dough. Okay. Awesome. Okay.
Sweet nothings, and that dough's here.
18.
Oh boy. Yep.
Do I get my proficiency bonus added to that?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
All right. So then, second proof and shaping and stuff is done. It's time to bake,
Yay!
right? Yeah. So that's going to be, we'll say, to know when you're taking it out. Another investigation check. I'll get an investigation check from everybody. So where is your oven? I have to know.
My oven is in my pelvis.
Okay. It's like the front of your pelvis?
Yeah.
Like a
Okay.
slot, like a DVD drive.
You know, like just a really warm area. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Your loving oven.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it just like a panel that slides open?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like a like a rock oven.
Like a pizza oven,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but your pelvis.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you have to use a peel and push it really hard, like all the way to the back?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it like
I'm
a
just
TARDIS
pelvic
though, where
thrusting
it's like?
it in.
But I imagine it's like a TARDIS where you have to put the peel facing you and just keep pushing it,
Oh yeah.
which must look really terrible from afar.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm just grabbing the front of my baking station, pushing it in.
Yes.
You missed the hand.
I'm sorry. This is my first time.
He has to roll to see how good at it is.
Davor has stopped doing everything he is doing and just is staring, just aggressively,
Wow.
just
Yes.
puzzled.
Excellent. No check necessary.
I feel like the cameraman caught him saying, "I've lived so long and I've never seen that." Just never.
So then, what do you guys do anything while the bread's baking?
No, I have out my sovereign glue. I've got to glue this stuff together and it needs to stick.
Okay, so you're
So.
just waiting.
Yeah, I'm
Just,
just
like, staring
collecting
into
all
the
my
oven.
creepy stuff.
Okay.
I'm making my sugar.
Okay. So that. So are you basically just making like a caramel, or
No, it's not a caramel. Like
Okay.
you actually like melt also isomalt. Is my alchemical background coming in?
oh, okay.
Yeah, totally.
So then I'll say this is an Arcana check
Sweet.
if you're gonna make
So isomalt panels are Arcana in here.
Yeah.
All right, so 13 on the die plus 10, so 23.
Woof. All right. Yeah, you make isomalt.
And it's the most beautiful, no bubbled,
Yeah.
gorgeous,
Mhm.
glassy looking gorgeousness.
Cool.
Blood red
And then you're just cooling it, and then you're going to cut it into shards, basically.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shatter it like shattered glass under the feet of the worshippers.
All right. So while that's going on, anybody else doing anything while the bread's baking?
I occasionally check my pelvis.
Okay, you just kind of bend over and look.
I just need to get golden brown.
Lord.
Brooke.
And delicious.
I am just leaning haphazardly against my station, looking super bored and like trying to talk to the crew members.
Okay.
Anybody wanting to talk to me?
Okay. What about?
Anything.
Anything that
Literally.
interests them.
Yeah. I just really want to get to know somebody.
Okay.
I need their help.
Okay.
I feel like
do if you were me right now. That's what I'm.
Oh yeah.
like how do you think?
Like what do you think? Do you think like this is gonna be like okay, or like how would you do it if you were on the show?
Let's get a persuasion check.
Sweet.
Yeah, charisma persuasion.
I love persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite thing. 15.
15.
They might be dumb. It's fine.
Definitely pro tips for that.
Yeah. It's this kind of middle-aged lady who is like real into talking to you, and she's like, "Yeah, I mean, I would probably, I don't know what you were doing with the knife. That was a little weird, but I think it might come out all right as long as you follow it the right way. I would probably leave it in there this long. Check, make sure that it's baked on the bottom.
Wow,
tap it.
You were like really smart.
And she's like, "Oh no, I don't know about that. I just I baked some bread in my time."
I feel like you've baked a lot of bread in your time.
So yeah, you guys are just talking.
Yeah.
I hope that they pan to Davor looking
Your
annoyed.
bread before you put it in the oven.
No, it's in there.
I hope it's a full tang like metal thing.
Yeah, no, like
it's just getting melted.
It's just rolled in the
Are we
center.
gonna like figure out melting points right now?
I mean, it's not gonna get that hot.
No.
It's fine.
I don't
It's a
know.
wooden knife.
It's like a plan. I know you guys don't like understand, but like it's really important.
For the second time, Davor looks dead at the camera like,
So then, Davor, what do you do to make sure your bakes are good?
oh god. So that was going to be my interjection. I think he's doing the thing that people do where he's taking a seat and he's got his feet up to his chest and he's got his back up against the bench behind him, but you could still see his bald orc head past the other ones, and he's just got his hands on his knees, just staring out into space, just watching this bread like he will will it to bake.
Let's get a perception check.
He's trying so hard to stare down this bread. Hell no. A 19 altogether. Because this is a fantastic character who's done some things.
Yeah.
Thank God for that +5.
So then, let's get a perception check from everybody else too for the baking.
I got 13.
23.
Whoa.
Oh, you're looking at it.
You are the god of breads.
13.
It's fine.
You see the gluten.
What's gluten?
You are gluten.
So you've got now. They'll announce the 30 minutes left. You have 30 minutes remaining. So what do you guys do to finish your loaves? So Davor is like freaking out. I imagine.
I feel like pacing has happened now.
Okay.
Just pacing.
You're just gluing things together.
Yeah. So you using sovereign glue, making sure it's stick. Will that also make them sick? Do you think? Because they shouldn't eat that, probably, right? I'm still gonna use it regardless.
Well, sovereign glue cannot be undone.
Yeah, I know, but inside of them though, on their insides when they eat it, can that be that can't be undone?
It's digestible. I mean,
it does not say on this card whether or not people should eat it.
Because it doesn't break down. Like you can't take it apart.
To
so
be
you
in a
can't
flask,
digest
it has to be in
It's
an
like,
oil of slipperiness to even be in a flask. So that's kind of a problem.
We'll find out.
Yeah. It says it takes 1 minute to set. Bond creates a. The bond can only be broken by the application of a universal solvent. Oh, sorry.
No,
I got to
sorry.
twitch. But I did not get a universal solvent. I didn't care for it. So I only have the sovereign glue
Okay.
to glue all of these many figures on this cake.
So to make this into art, we'll get a performance check.
Oh, okay. And the other thing I'm doing while doing all of the rest of this, I feel like I would do for the tart, the salted caramel tart for the thing that Carla did on Bon Appetit, because I just shamelessly I'm going to plug these people because they need my help clearly on that. But that my caramel has failed, I feel like, and everything has boiled over, and I've just let it go, and it's terrible. But performance
Yes.
to do the other. That's still not that great. Oh, it's +0. Fantastic. 14.
Okay.
These are bad numbers.
And then
I feel like.
Let's see. So basically, everybody's just finishing their stuff at this point. You take it out.
Yeah,
baked.
I'm going to be casting Prestidigitation on mine.
Okay.
So
to do.
It's going to whisper the sounds of just enthusiastic
Flagellation.
whipping and
Enthusiastic
mild,
flagellation.
the exuberance of being whipped. It's just whenever they take a bite, they're just gonna it's gonna feel like a
Okay.
brief wind in their face, like they're being like the whip is flying past them, and then
Okay.
like onto their back, and
Yes.
then they're gonna hear that sound of exultation.
Okay, cool. And then basically Bec-de-Corbin, you just take yours out. It's done. It's baked.
Yep.
It's just a brioche.
Yes.
Success. I did a brioche.
The perfect cookie.
Yeah.
And then was like, it's
Basic
fine.
stuff every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
So you just take it out like with your bare hands, I guess.
This
Put
is
it down.
optimal.
When did you get bare hands?
Yeah. Your bare hands. And then Brooke, how are you finished? You take yours out.
Yeah.
It looks inexplicably baked.
Sweet.
Uh,
Okay, I am just gonna take. Is it cool? I like touch it. Is it cool yet?
no.
No.
Burn yourself?
I just like wave a towel over it to try to cool it down. Like because it's too hot for me to
Okay.
touch. I'm not doing any of that. And then after it cools, I'm just gonna take like the boatload of flowers that are covering my bench and just like place them all on top
Okay.
and put it on a platter, and then I just like sit down on a bench. Like, I don't understand what's taking you guys so long. This
Let's
is
get-
ridiculous.
Did it.
Okay. Let's get a strength athletics check to see how well you cool down this.
Sweet.
Because I imagine you're just like
Them flowers are gonna get real wilty if she just put them on top of hot bread.
Yeah. So I have a 0 modifier on my strength check. This is gonna be fun.
Oh, I forgot.
19.
Yes. You surprisingly like whip this towel around and cool it off relatively quickly.
Yes.
This is the same luck that I remember you having before when you played Brooke.
I don't know what it is about her.
That is your practice from shooing peasants away
Yeah,
from you.
exactly.
Like, those arms
Like,
have gotten
no.
muscle memory from
Yeah.
that. You're well aware.
No, excuse me.
Yeah.
Like,
You need to vacate.
this is my area now.
Ugh.
So now she's just sitting there, like ankles crossed, like on the bench, like leaned over. Like, I don't understand. Like, what am I supposed to do now? And then she's gonna cast Major Illusion on it anyways, just to make sure that like the flowers really look like real flowers.
What's your spell save DC?
16.
Okay. So then eventually Foal says, "It's time, everyone. Time is up. Please step away from your bakes." And then Mr. Holiday and Marianne will come around and sample your bakes. So Davor, you're first.
Yeah, he walked away from his bench very stressed, like tea towel on his shoulder. But when he did that, once they had started to disperse and they were going to move about, he's going to put on the robe of scintillating colors. So instead of he'll have the brocade vest on, but I want it to look, to me, it would look like a high collared kind of foppish robe.
Okay.
So as ridiculous as it is. So this is going to be the most beautiful thing that they have ever seen. It sheds bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. Creatures that can see you have disadvantage on attack rolls against you. In addition, any creature in the bright light that can see you when the robe's power is activated must succeed on a DC 15 wisdom saving throw or become stunned.
Okay. Stunned.
They need to be stunned and then convinced.
Okay. Stunned, mechanically speaking, is not.
Look, don't argue this point
Wow.
with me.
It's.
I know. I can take it how I feel. I at least want them to be so amazed at how fantastic I look because I had to have a costume change to make this look really good. I have to be a proper person.
A stunned creature is incapacitated, can't move,
I'm aware.
and can speak only falteringly.
I'm going to do this.
Okay, so what was the DC?
15.
They both fail. So they walk up to you.
But is it like Get Out level where they're just crying, just staring off into space?
No, they walk up to you. They're gonna like try your bake, and then you do this crazy magic robe thing.
Just unfurl it.
Yeah, and then they just stare off like slack jawed, like you good. Like they can't move.
So my finishing move on this is with all my height, I bend down on the bench and put an elbow on it and lean down and explain in great detail exactly what all of this is, as if that's going to convince them. Like they will be so taken aback, and yet they're not.
So
they are just dumbfounded.
Let's get a persuasion check, for which you'll have advantage.
Would I if I've ruined them by stunning
Well, they had
them?
no choice but to listen.
Okay, 18 altogether.
If you have advantage, you roll twice and take the highest.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear you say advantage or pay attention to you. That was a 3 the second
So
time.
18, yes.
Yeah, 18's gonna stay.
That brought your score up significantly.
Yes.
So when that happens, they just how long does it last?
What did you do?
I may have done bad things. Okay. Until my next turn.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
That's not long.
But with this, do they have to go deal with other people though?
Yeah.
So now, but this follows them, does it not? Where I have ruined these people mentally for everyone
goes
else.
away after the.
Oh, okay. So this would be the end. This would be considered the end of my turn.
Yeah. Basically.
Oh, okay. Because I was very amused that they would have to be sent off just completely ruined.
They just stumble away from your table and they don't even try.
I looked tremendously
Try the
proud,
bread.
just as proud as I've ever looked in my life.
And then they go over to Veric, and then Mr. Holiday says, "Well, what do we have here?"
Oh, Mr. Holiday, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure. Oh, Marianne, I've been looking forward to this for a very long time.
If you get your hand shaking, you're going to vomit.
Oh, no, I'm
Just
full on, like, shaking. That this is my dream
Okay.
that I've wanted. And I just... it really means a lot to me that they taste this and they enjoyed it and they understand the spirit of it, because the spirit of it is that we will bring our races together and we will be together and it'll be perfect.
They're just like nodding, listening to you. They're like tapping the bottom of it.
I'm definitely going to try to persuade them to think that the promoting the goblin cause and creating a higher goblin presence in Waterdeep is very much needed.
Okay. So then it has like a longer section that's like the handle, right?
Yes. So
he'll like cut that part open and look at the air pockets and like squeeze it and kind of mush it and
Does it have a good crumb?
Yeah.
It does not turn back to dough.
Yeah.
Can he ball it up and make a dough?
Doesn't matter how much you poke it, sir.
And then he goes, good.
Yes, but what did you feel the breeze in your face? Did you hear?
Oh, I forgot about that.
sounds?
Yeah. And then Marianne like takes a bite and then she hears like, whoa, there's some screaming in this one. Oh, I can
a
really
little
taste
excitement.
it. Oh, yes. It brings back some memories of my youth.
I pull a shot out for Mary. Just a nice little port for Mary.
She just kind of
right
like
there.
crunches on the glass. Yeah. All right. Brooke,
Yeah.
they walk over to
Yes.
you. And Mr. Holiday says, "Oh, this is wonderful. Look at the flowers. These are the most realistic flowers I've ever seen." And then Marianne says, "What are you talking about? These don't look like flowers at all. They're all wilted and melting." He's like, "No, this is fantastic. This is the best looking flowers I've ever seen." And then he takes out a knife and he goes to cut it in half. And then you hear a clank. And like he starts pulling it open, and there's a knife in there.
There is a knife. And let me explain why there's a knife in there, because it was on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So really, there's a festival. I don't remember which one. Let's be honest. I don't go to them. But like they always throw down all their swords and their weapons, and then they cover all of the weapons with flowers. And so I really wanted to include a weapon in this loaf.
Wow.
For like the symbolism
Okay.
of like the spirit of the holiday.
That's very creative. It's
Thank you.
and then he goes to like eat it, and it's just like gummy, and it's really bizarre.
Can I like cast something to make him feel like it's better?
Wait, what do you got?
I got a lot of things.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh boy.
Charm person? Can I charm him?
Sure.
Would that help me?
Into liking
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was your DC in 16?
16.
Oh no, he failed. So
Dang
he
it.
says,
Okay.
"Oh, this is very creative." Oh yes. And then he like puts it down, and then he goes to shake your hand.
I shake his hand.
But like you don't get it.
Yeah.
You don't get that that's
I'm
important.
like, okay.
Veric is literally like head down on the table, banging his fist and cursing this nitwit for
So
ruining my dreams.
so at this point,
Getting a
Davor.
shake on a bread round from Paul Holiday. Beyond devastated.
So Davor is in this vest with a high collar, and it looks like a vampiric level robe, but he's kicked his hands behind the robe and is just staring up at the ceiling with his hands on his hips, just pissed, just as mad as he could be.
And while they're really upset,
I'm
I'd
definitely
really like to
casting a
compliment
spell
them.
before
Yes.
Marianne tastes hers. I'm going to cast a minor illusion on
Okay.
her dish, and it's going to look like there's a hair on it.
Okay. What's your spell save DC?
All right.
I also have counter charms, so
All right. We better work this
Oh,
out.
God.
then.
Actually, at the top of your spell sheet, it has up there.
Would she have to perceive that I'm doing it?
I don't know. What's the word? What's his counter charm?
You're the boss.
well, let me pull it up. Hold on.
Things.
Let me figure this out, because I have counter charm and I really like don't want her to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to cheat.
I'm not cheating, ma'am. You like cast prestidigitation.
My name is Veric Bondarion.
I
I
don't
don't know who this ma'am is.
everybody, ma'am. Like I don't understand. You're fine.
Don't misgender me.
All of you
Like, whatever.
goblins look the same.
Yeah. Goblins have like genders.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna take her down. Like Veric is done.
So I'm gonna start humming as I see her like working, and it's I gain the ability to use musical notes or words of power to disrupt mind influencing effects. As an action, you can start the performance and it lasts until the end of your next turn. I have advantage on saving throws against any friendly creatures, which I'm going to count her as a friendly creature.
So she'll have advantage to try to see through your illusion.
She
basically.
will, yes.
But is she friendly?
She's friendly to me. Like I'm real.
Oh no! She rolled a 9 and a 2, so she still sees the hair. Yeah, Brooke is like humming, and then she looks at it and is like, ugh. And it's like a really gnarly, like,
Oh,
it looks like a giant pube.
it looks like it came out of the Warforged oven.
Oh.
It is
Yeah.
burnt and it smells it.
And
then
I
she
just glare over there.
Yeah,
Like,
she just makes a face and puts it down.
whatever.
All right.
Paul
then
likes me, it's fine.
finally, they go over to Bec-de-Corbin, who is got his brioche hammer.
Hello, Paul. Hello, Marianne.
Oh, hello. Hello.
I hope you find this brioche most satisfactory.
Oh, well, we'll see about that. And then he pulls out a knife.
Yep.
When he pulls out the knife, make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh boy.
12.
12.
Please fight him.
When he pulls out the knife, you get a flashback.
I grab Paul's hand.
Okay. So make a strength athletics check for me.
To crush it.
9 plus 8.
Oh boy, 17. He got an 11. So yeah, you just grab his hand and he drops the knife. He's, oh, what the hell? What are you doing?
What do you see, Jake?
Yeah.
With your warforged eyes.
Threat level detected. Friend or foe?
Friend, I'm not gonna hurt you. I want to taste your bread. This is a baking competition.
Run script. Erase, kill, everything.exe. Sorry, Paul. But you wield a weapon at me, and I am warforged.
So I have no idea what that means. I'm sorry.
It is okay. And then I frown at him again. It will be okay.
Okay. Then they just like, he just tears the bread open. He leaves the knife. He doesn't even touch it. So good brioche, nice crumb, rich dough. Okay, thank you. And then he just walks away.
Thank you.
And then Marianne says, "Oh, don't worry about him. He's a little jumpy. It's very nice, well baked. Thank you."
I scowl at her and say, thank you.
So I have a question as to how you got the peel out. You know when you have a peel and you have to like yank it back? It's facing you, so do you have to like throw it out of your slot? Like you just have to like fall over.
I'm leaning against my baking station.
Just dropping your peel.
Like this. Just like, it looks like
people can't see you.
It looks like I'm doing the Heimlich maneuver on my groin.
Yeah.
All right.
Therein is the problem. How do you get the peel?
I don't think that's the problem.
There's so many problems.
Okay, that's round one.
I was very stressed earlier because I realized we've just done the one thing.
Yeah, this is the one round.
Oh, God.
That's all we've done.
That's it.
Hour and 43 minutes of recorded.
We made breads, guys. We did it.
Yeah.
He's still asleep.
Yeah, dude.
But you gave us 4 hours, so really,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.